I walked in on my partner masturbating. What should I do? I am Helena Nista, your favorite sexologist online, and today I'm bringing you another very important answer to a viewer question. So this particular viewer sent a question about walking in on their partner masturbating, and they were uncertain how to handle this particular situation. So I actually remember quite vividly when that first happened to me. Very long time ago, way before I became a sexologist. I was with this gentleman. We were in a long-term relationship. We were living together, and he was at that point working from home. So he was spending a lot of time home alone. And when I was there, he was obviously home as well. And it was such a long time ago. I remember being quite, I guess, naive about these things. Like, I didn't even know that men masturbated or watched porn at that point. Like, that is how innocent I was at that stage. Anyways, when I walked in and I started talking to him because I had a question, and then I realized what he was actually doing, that made me uncomfortable. I didn't quite know how to handle it, but I simply just walked out. I didn't act like I noticed anything. I didn't want to embarrass him, so I just wrapped up the conversation very quickly and I walked out of there. And what I remember feeling just like surprised and a bit confused about what had happened, I didn't really have a particular problem with it. I guess I just assumed that there was nothing wrong with my partner watching porn and masturbating in his office during the day when he should have been working. Maybe he was taking a break. But like in my head, it wasn't really a big deal, apart from just like the surprise factor of the situation. However, I have since heard, since becoming a sexologist, I have talked to a lot of people and have heard from a lot of people who find that kind of situation quite confronting, who don't quite know what to do about it or what to even think about it. And while back then I did fairly okay with handling that situation, like not embarrassing my partner about it, I didn't handle it perfectly, and this is how I would have handled it now. So if I was walking now on my partner masturbating, as soon as I noticed what was happening, I would promptly excuse myself. If I walked in and he hadn't noticed me, I would have just backed away. I would have just given him his privacy. And if he had noticed me, I would have just excused myself. I would have said something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're busy, I'll come back later." And I would have just walked out. I would not make a scene. I would not make a big deal out of it, because it really isn't a big deal. And I would just give him his privacy. The thing I didn't do back then, and I would definitely do now, and I encourage you to do as well in this kind of situation, is communication. Like, I would talk to my partner about it afterwards. So either that evening or whenever we were, to sit down together and we had some time together without anybody else present, obviously. I would have a conversation with my partner, something along the lines, "Hey, honey, I noticed that you were masturbating or slash touching yourself," whatever language is most appropriate to you. And I noticed that you were touching yourself earlier. Would you mind if I ask you some questions about it, or if we have a conversation about it? The point of this kind of conversation is to really normalize, on one hand, masturbation in your relationship, because it really is a very healthy and normal and common thing. But another just as important point of that conversation is to clarify doubts and questions about it, because when somebody notices their partner masturbating, that can sort of, give room to a lot of questions and doubts and insecurities. So things like, are they not attracted to me anymore? What does it mean to our future together? What does it mean to our relationship? Does it mean we're in trouble? Does it mean, our sex life is in trouble? Like, what does it actually mean? So at this point, I would really encourage you to actually analyze your own feelings about this situation, and just notice like what is actually going on for you there. Are you feeling insecure? Are you feeling scared or worried? Is that about, are you asking yourself questions about your attractiveness, and are you doubting yourself in your relationship right now? Or is it about something completely different? Are you scared that, this might mean the end of your relationship together, or this might mean the end of your sex life together, or that this might mean big changes to your sex life? Like, there might be so many questions and so many different feelings. An important thing to realize is that all of these questions and all of these feelings are very valid and important. So don't try to dismiss them, don't try to give yourself a hard time about them, don't sort of push them down. Simply maybe sit with your questions so you can clarify them first before you have that conversation with your partner about this whole situation, and come to certain level of clarity with yourself. What are you scared of? What are you worried about? What are your doubts in this situation? Because something else that is really important to point out here is that masturbating in a relationship is actually a very healthy and common thing, and it typically doesn't mean that you're in trouble, or that your partner doesn't want to have sex with you anymore, or that they want or desire certain things they see on porn, to happen now in your bedroom together. Typically, there's none of that happening in your relationship. Obviously, this is where it's important to have that conversation to really clarify what's happening for your relationship with your partner. But typically, in a huge majority of cases, masturbation is a way to release tension in the body, or to deal with horniness, or to deal with a libido that is higher than your partner's. It's a way to relax, it's a way to make yourself or themselves feel good, it's a way to connect with the body, etc. There's so many benefits that come from masturbation, both like for the physical body, but also for the mental and emotional health. Having that orgasm can really feel so amazing in a situation maybe where they are feeling stressed or tired or confused or overwhelmed. In fact, both of you should be masturbating. The idea that people who are in relationships shouldn't masturbate, like, that's a complete myth. Actually, people who do masturbate, who do self-touch when they are in a relationship, they have a much better sexual relationship together. They achieve much higher levels of sexual satisfaction together. So this self, touch, this solo sex time, just yourself and your body, is very beneficial for your sex life together. Because apart from all the other benefits that I was listing before, it really teaches you about your own body. It teaches you about your erogenous zones. It teaches you about your preferences, needs, and desires, so that then you can really bring all that knowledge and self-awareness to bed with your partner. Also, if you do struggle with a lower libido, regular masturbation can really help you to boost that libido. I do also notice quite regularly that people who struggle with the idea of masturbation in general, or masturbation in a relationship, they typically have experienced some level of religious conditioning, or shame, or sexual repression in their lives, or in their earlier lives. So that kind of conditioning, or that kind of beliefs and ideas and mindset about self-touch, that it's wrong, that it shouldn't be happening, maybe that's sinful, etc., this can be really getting in the way of your sexual satisfaction together with your partner. Because, like I said before, masturbating, whether in a relationship or when you're single, is a very healthy thing. It is recommended by sexologists, sex therapists, and doctors, and therapists all over the world. So please look deep into yourself. Look deep into that discomfort that you're experiencing in the situation, and really see, where is it coming from? Is it coming from this kind of inhibitions coming from a religious upbringing or that kind of other kind of inhibiting or oppressive ideas about sex or about masturbation. Because if it is, it might be time to revise your mindset or way of thinking about sex and about, particularly about solo sex and about self-touch. It's also important to note that while masturbation in general is a very positive and healthy thing, it also makes a difference how it is done. If masturbation is this kind of quick, disconnected, or porn fuel experience, that can actually be conditioning the body for kind of quick, shallow, superficial, not very satisfying experiences. However, if you and your partner both masturbate in ways that are enriching and deepening your body's ability to feel pleasure, to feel satisfaction, when you touch yourself in a way that deepens your orgasms and really teaches your body how to experience even more pleasure, even more ecstasy, even more bliss. Oh my God, that is such an incredibly positive experience, both for your body and for your relationship. So I really encourage you to do that, to not just go for that quick orgasm, quick release, but actually to bring different techniques and tools and practices and different ideas into your solo sex practice. And if you'd like some help with that, I do have an excellent online course called Masturbation Coaching that will take you on a journey of taking your body deeper and deeper into your body's erotic and orgasmic potential by building and by going week by week on that journey of teaching your body to expand what is possible for you when it comes to your orgasmic power. So I hope that this makes sense. Please make sure to leave me comments below with any questions or your insights about this whole situation. Let me know if that's ever happened to you and how did you handle this situation. And please make sure to check out Masturbation Coaching online course to see if it is right for you. Thank you so much for watching this and staying with me till the end. You're absolutely fantastic and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.